this is Joe Kane's signature category, so I'll let him take it away first.
Ooh,
Hot takes or bold predictions?
Oh boy, I should probably leave now.
Now, Jordan, you should stay and wait and see what happens here. Our two viewers are on the edge of their seats.
Mavericks win the West. Okay? I'm serious. I think they can. Okay? I mean, they've beaten all the top teams in the regular season before the whole coronavirus thing.
Yeah, before that thing.
What?
Before that.
Yeah, they beat Lakers, Clippers, I think the Bucks too. And I think if they can like stretch out all the series to like at least 6 to 7 games and come out on top. But they're gonna have to be super lucky, and they're gonna have to have great chemistry, which I think they will have after so long on break.
Okay. Jordan, you have a response to this?
To Joe's, I don't think that the Mavs are going to win the West.
Dude. The Mavs win when there's a shortened season.
Haven't we already talked about this? Didn't you say that Anthony Davis is injury prone?
Yeah.
So there's no way that
Yeah,
he'll be able to play, yet Kristaps will be fully healthy.
Even though he just tore his ACL.
Even though he is a more injury prone player.
Okay, he was with the Knicks when that happened.
Oh, so it's the curse of Madison Square.
And
Dude,
AD was with the
place
Pelicans when he was injured.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's what I'll say, Joe. And Joe and I were talking about this when we did our test live stream a couple days ago. I think the Mavericks' best case scenario is they can move up to the 6 or 5. I think they can move up to the 6, beat Houston, and then they'll run in one of the LA teams and get smoked. Especially, honestly, I think the Clippers actually are a better matchup than the Lakers. They match up better with the Mavericks than the Lakers do. I genuinely think the Clippers would work them in 6. I think it wouldn't be an easy series, but Kawhi Leonard has the chops to defend Doncic, and then after that, who's going to be your go-to scorer? Tim Hardaway Jr.
Okay, well, AD couldn't even defend Doncic in the scrimmage.
Yeah, but LeBron can.
Cool. I do think the Mavericks will be the best team in the West in the upcoming future if Kristaps
they basically
can stay
are
healthy.
now, so
they're not the dude that you're sitting in 7th in the standings. You're not the best team in the West right now.
Yeah,
you've
young great players, and you've arguably the best owner in sports. You have a long-term coach that is, I think, always, even if they're not as good of a coach, if you have a coach that's been there for a while, there's more stability. I don't know. I think they'll be a good developing team for the future.
Yeah, I think the Mavericks could be the best team in the West in 2 to 3 years. Maybe 2.
Maybe one.
Okay. Jordan, you have a hot take?
I might say this kind of goes along with what Joe was saying about Pascal Siakam being an X factor. I don't think the Bucks will go as far, I don't think the Raptors will go as far in the playoffs as people might think they will.
People think they're not going to go that far anyway.
Oh, really? Then I guess it's not a hot take. I think they would lose in a series against the Bucks, Celtics, Heat, and maybe Sixers.
I think you're right. Honestly, the Heat, low key, was the team that defended Giannis the best.
Because they had I think pretty highly of the Heat. I'm a fan of Jimmy Butler, even though it seems like he drives people nuts. I like the intensity he brings, so I think the Heat will go further than people think. I think they might make it to like the Eastern Conference semifinals and play maybe a close series to whoever they play. But I think the conference finals will be Bucks Celtics if the seeding lines up.
Yeah, I don't know about that many. I think Miami will give them trouble. I think Milwaukee goes to the conference finals, but I think you're right. I think honestly, I think the Celtics are the team best cut out to handle Milwaukee right now. I mean, Toronto, you could say they've done it before. They'll just do this similar strategy, but Toronto also doesn't have Kawhi Leonard. And look, I mean, they're still playing well and they're still considered a legitimate title contender, but in the playoffs, when you need a go-to scorer, I don't know if Pascal Siakam against Giannis is going to cut it. When you have Siakam, Leonard, and Lowry all on the court, it's one thing. But when you take away the guy who won Finals MVP and was a crucial factor in tag teaming, defending Giannis, and scoring on the other end to win games where the scoring got a little higher, I can't see Toronto keeping the score that low. But I will say I do see a scenario in which Boston can just win shootouts against Milwaukee. And I mean, you have the bodies to be able to try to handle Giannis. I mean, you obviously you beat them in game 1 of that series last year, and you've added talent. The big question is which point guard plays better in that series? Is it Bledsoe or is it going to be Walker? But no, I think you're right. I think that is a very feasible possibility. I think I actually picked the Celtics to go to the finals when Joe and I were doing predictions last week.
Yeah, I mean, even when you think about it, the Celtics have a great defensive system because Brad Stevens is a great coach, in my opinion. But like right off the top of my head, I can name 4 people that I would feel comfortable guarding Giannis, and that would be Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Marcus Smart, and then people may not know him, Semi Ojeleye, who's given him trouble in the past. But they're a very very tall and long team. I know you have Kemba, who's a little shorter. Marcus Smart is shorter, but he covers for that with his the heart he plays with and his great defensive ability. But yeah, I think they're the team in the East where you can interchange their players most and guard whoever.
And you can also tag team a bit, right? So you could even throw Tice on him as help, just for the size. Or Robert Williams. I know his defending is a bit sketchy, but even if you delve that deep into the bench, I wouldn't feel comfortable. I wouldn't feel comfortable with Cantor on him because Cantor can't guard a normal center.
Cantor's an offensive center, yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think they can try to throw this Raptors approach. They have the size and the length to throw that weird Raptors defensive scheme from last conference finals where they just threw a bunch of long bodies at Giannis and it tag teamed him, and it worked to some extent. I mean, Giannis got frustrated at times. I mean, he still put up 20 points in the series pretty much every night, but he still was frustrated and his shooting percentage was all messed up. So I can see a scenario which Boston has the offensive output to win shootouts while also throwing just enough at Giannis defensively to throw him off his game. I think my concern with Miami and Toronto is can they put up enough points on the other end of the floor? And sure, Miami has a few more natural burn scorers, but look, I don't know if Jimmy Butler's good, but I don't know if he's got enough support around him outside of Tyler Hero and Duncan Robinson to cut it. I mean, Kendrick Nunn's also solid, but again, I feel like Giannis is just going to cause them problems if they ever try to go in the paint. So yeah, I mean, I think you bring up a good point with Boston. For me, I think my biggest hot take is I genuinely think that the Rockets I think the Nuggets are going to disappoint.
I think so too.
Look, I know they've been getting a lot of slander and they're totally undervalued. And I mean, obviously they have big name players, but it's not a big market. So it's not like you're getting the attention that Jason Tatum's getting or LeBron's getting. But at the end of the day, I genuinely think that they will struggle with whoever they face. I mean, look, Jokic is in insane shape now and he's looking, he's playing point guard for part of that scrimmage, but I don't know if the shooting's there for one. I know Murray's obviously adds a shooting burst, but Gary Harris has been off offensively, and you need scoring out of that shooting guard spot. I question now, does Jokic have the size or the actual girth to bang with some guys and overpower some guys? I think ball is the big X factor there. But ultimately, I think that I could see a Mavericks team storming into that series and just working them.
I could see that.
I know Jokic will do everything he can, and he's a terrific center, and I'm not trying to disrespect him at all. But, I mean, look, Luka Doncic, who's going to guard him? I mean, you can't put Jokic on him.
Ball.
I mean, if Ball's quick, Ball is skinny, scrawny as
heck. He needs some more VC.
Huh?
He needs some more VC, upgrade the speed and
strength.
Yeah.